Hello, YouTube. Long time no see, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. It's a Sunday night, and it is Sunday night with Superstar. Thank you for coming. We're going to have a good time tonight. I got to get all my stuff and ducks in a row, so let's see if I got everything going. And y'all are just groovy. Y'all be groovy tonight, as Barb would say. There we go. And so it's a very good day in the neighborhood. Very good day in the neighborhood. Hey, Snakebite, glad you came. How you doing there, brother? Good to see you. Long time no see, everybody. Yeah, I got some pretty good info to bring up tonight that I want to make sure that gets out there that really bothers me. Hey, Silver Wolverine, how you doing, brother? I got some information that I want to bring out tonight, and we'll wait along here a few more minutes before I start talking about it. Sunburnt. Oh no, sunburn. I hate that. I got burnt pretty good this week myself, but I had some of the PF66 or whatever it calls 60, I think, on me, so I didn't get too burnt. My face gets burnt out on the tarmac, so it's pretty bad. So let's see. I think I'm gonna get. Let's see if I can get my camera going. Get my lighting all done. Oh, this may sound funny to you, Snakebite, but I will say one thing about. Uh, there we go. Uh, I will say one thing about that's worked for me in the past is use uh, take vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and rub it into your skin, and it'll soften your skin up, keep it from burning, and you might not even peel. It works great. I use it all the time. You can see how red my face is from out there this week. So yeah, I got burnt pretty good. Yeah, I got some info that just chapped me so bad I didn't know. I said I got to talk about this. Hey there, Ghost. How you doing there, brother? Good evening. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I was out in the tarmac just all week out here, and it was 97, 96, 95. And that heat comes up, it just fries you. Hey, THS, how you doing there, brother? Thank you for coming. Chopping wood. Oh, boy, that's always a fun job. I drink apples. You know what? That's cool. I do that too, Silver Wolverine. I take at night. I take a glass of water and put a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in it and drink it down. It's really good for your digestive system and your organs and everything like that. That's good. How much of that do you drink every night, Silver Wolverine? So you're fried from chopping wood? Is that what you snake bite? About 30 grams. There you go. Yeah, it's about a teaspoon. Oh, yeah, that'll get you every time too. That sun really wears you out. Oh, in the pool. Okay. I don't have a pool, but I got a lot of concrete to run around on. I got some pretty good information. I think it's going to shock a bunch of people because it's the news is not talking about it, and it needs to be brought out. And Dale Vale, I was going to bring him in and let him talk about it and what other ways that we can do to help us to maybe natural remedies and stuff like that. So it should help. Hopefully it will. I'm not a doctor. I don't know that much. I have to listen to other people. Had a bad storm down here about a month ago. Collected a bunch of oak. Got it cut down and split. Nice. Little okay. So you must have had some high winds and stuff like that, Ghost? Hey there, Mark B. How you doing? Mark B is here. Yep. Yeah, that those high winds are brutal. I had that here done. I've lost a couple of trees last few years from ice and wind and winter. So kind of wait until I see if any more people will start yakking about this. Anybody? Did anybody get their silver dollars? The Morgan and Peace dollars in? Did you order any of them, Ghost or Dale? Hey there, Dale. There you go. I'm with you, Dale. You want to come up? Click on that link right there, Dale. It'll get you in here. You got your 2 Peace dollars and 1 Morgan? Yeah, I got mine too, but I surely didn't. I got 3 and 3, but I didn't get the one of the 200s, that's for sure. I was disappointed. How you doing there, Dale? Thanks for coming up.
How are you, brother? Good to see you.
Pretty good. Glad to be home, man. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? I'll put the links out for all this information, and also too. I don't know if you know about. I sent you a link earlier about what the government's doing, but I was thinking we'll talk about Pfizer. That tornado hit the Pfizer in North Carolina, and there's Pfizer is saying that they're going to have a shortage of meds. So I'm thinking that this would be a pretty good topic tonight to talk about, to let everybody know. So. And I was going to put a link in there for if you need antibiotics, you can still buy them at chewy.com. And Fishmox is which is amoxicillin, and you can still buy it. It's like $21 for 105 milligram tablets, so pretty cheap. Cheaper than going to the doctor. Do I?
$21, 21 cents a tablet. That's a great deal.
It is. It's a great deal, and it as you know, it's the same thing they give humans. So
yes, yeah, it
glad
is.
you came in, Barbara. Yeah, that's and I'm gonna put links in my stream about chewy.com and where you can buy it and stuff like that. So it'd be good to have 100 tablets or a couple of bottles are pretty cheap, and they're as far as having some kind of medication if you need an antibiotic. It's really good to have everybody back and stuff like that. And
how was your vacation, sir?
It was good. I told part of the story last week. I did a stream last week about 21s in my trip and stuff like that. As I was driving this van that I bought this van for my son down in Dallas, and I'm driving it down through California, and it breaks down on me. The transmission starts puking tranny fluid out.
Oh, God.
And so I get to Arizona where my daughter is, and Phoenix, and so I haven't taken pulled a transmission out in a driveway in years. So I pulled the transmission out in the driveway, fixed the transmission, and put it back, and off I went on my trip. But I have
Good for you.
I have a picture of the transmission, and I'm going to try and post it on a community page of this transmission. I got it strapped to a tree so I could work on it. There ain't no place I'd do that in the yard. So it's southern style work, and yeah, Mark, it was something else.
Not easy when you get older, eh, Rocky? Laying on your back, wrenching.
Oh God, yes. Oh yeah. Ghost, it's a 4R100 transmission. It was the pump, seal, and bushing one out in the front. Yep, you're right. You know what I'm talking about, input shaft seal. Yeah, I took the pump out and rebuilt it, plus the clutch, there's a bushing for the clutch pack underneath it, and I changed that too because it looked like it needed it, so I changed that and put it all back together, and off I went. So yeah, it was fun to do that in 100. It was 113 there when I was doing that, so it was quite fun.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was really hot. I can only work about 4 hours on the heat like that.
Yeah, that's it. That's hard. That's hard.
I don't know.
It was hard when we were 20 years old in that kind of heat.
Yeah, that transmission is that's about 258 pounds. That transmission, it's heavy. Do you THS is asking, can you make your own penicillin from oranges? I do not know.
I'm not going to say I know you can. Like you can make, but that's not an easy thing. You need petri dishes. You need strict lab conditions, sterility. That's not something that somebody's going to be doing without some fairly elaborate equipment.
Yeah.
You could grow it, but just get it in stock, man. You get some in stock because it's going to be one of those lifesavers that if the worst does happen, there's other things you can use, colloidal silver, oregano. There's all kinds of alternatives, and you can use those depending on the degree of the infection you have, and you have to understand a viral infection versus a bacterial infection, and people need to read. How do you diagnose? Like if you were here, I could diagnose based on symptoms, but everyone should know that, in my opinion. I'm a nerd for that stuff. So, but I think if things did go bad, by God, that's good to know. If you're running a fever versus one of your limbs are swelled up after you got a cut or bit by something, they're two very different treatment methods. And penicillin at one point or more in your life is vital. I'm allergic to amoxicillin, so I have to get a synthetic based, and I'm going to have to just ask my doctor to give me a couple scripts. And if things start to go bad, he's a young guy and he's pretty hip, and he listens to me about the forest medicine, and he thinks it's cool. He's into a lot of it himself, and I've given him gifts, so we're kind of buddies. And I think I got lucky. I think he'll give me a couple scripts for the back closet.
That's good. And other things that like blood pressure medicines and stuff like that will probably start drying up, and
Yes, they will.
Can you do like a natural blood, blood pressure medicine, like
I
garlic or something?
I take it, Rocky. I take an herb from India
Oh,
that
okay.
I've taken to balance my blood pressure, and then I use what's called my mash, which is it has whole lemons, organic lemons, and garlic, ginger, and turmeric, and
Okay.
it like a sour mash. I grind it all up, I stew it, and then the wife and I take a couple tablespoons of that each day, and that alone pretty much keeps our cholesterol and our blood pressure in check.
Oh, that's great.
And then I
Can you
have
send
Indian
me?
herb for when I like if I we all have episodes in life where something stressful happens and you need more. You need more, and then I'll go on to the Indian herbs for a month, and they finish the job if the mash isn't cutting it. So
Can you give me or send me an email or something like that, and I can post it on the after this here? Can you send me an email like a
well,
recipe or something like that so I can show everybody? Because I don't have a clue how to mix it or. Uh,
it's
uh,
you can buy that Indian herb, and then I've got recipes for the mash on
okay.
my channel. I made the mash and I showed how it was done, and I did homemade quercetin. I got banned on my one of my quercetin videos, so it they knocked me out for a while because I used I said the word cure. It could cure.
Oh,
Didn't say
really?
it would. I said it could, and they come after me for it. And
Good
but
Lord.
I'm
That
not I'm not running and hiding through this no more. I'm fed up, and I'm gonna stand and fight the best I can, and I'm gonna help as many people as I can, and I'm not gonna hold hands no more. I've got some local people I work with, and some of them need hand holding, and I told them it's too busy, it's too dangerous right now. But I'm not going to back off. But I'm not going to hold hands
right.
anymore.
See, that's like with them on my with that one that they struck me and took it down. I have to be really careful. You saw, I don't know if you saw the on the highlights of what I put in there, but I was really careful about what I said. Now, this is news, but it's not being nationwide news. I mean, most people didn't even know that a
They're
tornado hit.
suppressing it. They're suppressing it, Rocky.
Yes, they
You
are.
just said the factory, right? You said a
Yep,
factory. Yeah.
yep.
And there was a certain thing that was made in that factory, and it attacked the very line that makes that thing that those spikes that we talked about the last time I was in.
Yep, exactly, exactly. I wonder if God
Brother,
had a hand in that.
I'm gonna say this is my opinion. I'm ready to be called crazy man. I don't care. That's an act of God, in my opinion. That
That's
was
what
an
I
act
was
of
just
God.
yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Is it that way or what? So it's quite interesting to see that happen.
It's a
So
tornado. Unless they know how to make tornadoes, there's people that believe that. I'm not
right,
going there. But I mean, hey, it's like when that wall with that BLM, the poster boy for the BLM, I don't remember his name, and probably shouldn't say it, but a wall was struck by lightning. They painted a wall in a tribute to him. And
yes,
two
they
days
did.
after it was finished, it was hit, a direct hit with lightning.
That's good.
I'm
That's
a
good.
Christian,
Yeah,
and my gut told me right there. Thank you. I said, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So it is crazy. And another thing that I want to make sure that I bring up, but I could not put it into the highlights. Hey, Liquid, thank you for coming, brother. And we're talking about the medicine plant that was struck by a tornado. And so, if you need the medication that you may want to stock up on meds because meds are going to start getting hard to get. So you may want whatever if you've taken anything or stuff like that, you may want to try. Hey, Sal, how you doing, brother? Yeah, it really is, Sal. It really is sad. And on top of that, and this is going to follow up to my next topic, is what happens after this. But medications. Hey, Nickel, thank you for coming. They're gonna have. Hey, Jamie, thank you for coming. Eagle Steve.
Does Sal know what was made at that plant?
Yeah, I'm sure Sal knows what it is and stuff like that, but it's
not really a bad thing unless I misread my friend Sal.
Well, what I think might happen, they're going to use that for an excuse because Pfizer already said there's going to be a medicine shortage. So they're going to use that for, all this stuff here. So my next topic is going to follow right in after that. And I'm glad to see everybody coming here. So, and I'll have links in the descriptions. Oh, Sal says he thinks it was insulin. That was.
That's not what I heard, Sal. It was the Jabberwockies. I guess that's all I can say. The Jabberwocky. The very controversial. Now, if I'm wrong, someone please correct me. Insulin, the insulin plant is not made by Pfizer. Insulin is made by two other plants. One's a Swedish drug company and Nova Rapid. Okay. And some of it's made in America, some's made in Canada. The majority of it is coming out of Taiwan and China. That's where we're at risk, brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Jabberwocky, Liquid Electrum says Jabberwocky. So,
thanks, Liquid. That's what I understood, brother.
Well,
so I don't see it a bad thing. Sal wasn't here. Sal, just so you get to know me, I felt it was an act of God, brother. So
yeah,
I'm crazy as a shit.
Yeah, Sal, that is exactly right. There you go. That's it. Well, on top of that, now right after this happened in last week, I believe it was last Wednesday, about this tornado, and I ran across an article about the United States government has let 2,500 kids, and I will have this linked in my description underneath in the comments. They have released 2,500 kids. This is not the parents, just kids in the United States in 44 different states that have TB. Now, hey, Gina R., thank you for coming. Good to see you. Now, that really bothers me for them to start letting out these kids that have TB. Now
and then put them in schools, in the public schools.
Exactly. And what this is going to do, if it gets out there and starts spreading, it is really scary, Sal. And I have links to it, and I want to make sure that everybody knows that. It's really bothering me. Now, I talked to a nurse friend of mine that they have a special unit in the hospital for these type of patients. And they keep them all from talking and stuff like that, because if you're talking to one of these people, you could be, yes, that's right, Ghost. Yes. And they're letting them back into the United States. Can you believe that? They put them in 44 different states. Now, if you didn't know, you'd be open arms on a kid and stuff like that, and nobody's saying anything about it. And it really, really bothers me about, I'm going to be doing some more research on it. Yes, that's true, Mark. That's where they're coming from, down south.
And TB is highly contagious. Like you can get it airborne. You can get it. You can be talking to somebody, a little jab of spit hits you.
Yep.
Sharing crayons, eating food, it's things that kids do. Now, most kids are V, they've had the V for TB,
Yeah.
but it's not foolproof. And the fact that they're letting that run amok, think about it. We were all told to stay home and get V'd. Don't go out. But then the border's wide open with people coming in with no medical checks whatsoever.
Yep. No
And
vetting.
up to 3 million people have come in since Joe has been in charge. 3 million. And that's kind of a counting estimate. I think it's higher. And a lot of my people that I work with think it's closer to 5. Think about that. The 360 something million, and you add 5 million in less than 3.5 years, medically unchecked, broke. And I said the last show, a lot of those people, I'm a compassionate person. They need workers on farms and they need people to work in shops. You know, we've got some lazy youth in our countries, in Canada, US, and we do need workers, but only 2 or 3% of those will be vital to our economies and to our society. And many of them are anti-Christian and gung-ho. And look at how many are fighting age. We got this is a problem. We got to stop beating around the bush. It's a all-out invasion. It's been done before, and history's repeating itself.
Yeah. They the Democrats, Nichols saying the Democrats need votes. That's true. You know, and this here is something that is not being publicized much, is being really, really censored. And so, and what I will, like I said, I'm gonna have links to all these articles in my comments section. And so, so it looks like I'm not going to be sparked or striked or anything like that from the powers to above, because they'll be going right back after me and trying to stab me, give me another strike. So I don't need that, but we'll try and do
I'll try to be as discreet as I can.
Yeah, yeah.
What I say.
Yep, exactly. And
if I hear Rocky, if I hear you go, whoa, whoa, okay, that's it. Okay, just say those words.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa. Because I'm like, my blood's getting hot about this stuff, and I have to keep my, but I shouldn't have to. Neither should you or anyone in this chat. We were born in free nations. My father and my grandfather both served. My grandfather spent 18 months in a German prison camp. They drove him down to 97 pounds.
Yeah,
and we brought him back to life. We earned this freedom. This is not a gift. We earned it.
Yep. Freedom is not free.
No, sir. And there's too many that want to sell our freedom for security. And who was it? Ben Franklin. If you sell your freedom for security, you'll have neither.
Yep, that's right, Goes. They are coming across, and that's why I wanted to make sure, because I know that this state had to have some of that stuff come up here and come into the city. So I got to be really careful with who I talk to and stuff like that, because I meet a lot of people up there, what I do. So and can you imagine being cooped up in an airplane like that? Man, that'd be a bad situation right there. Because I'm sure they're flying these kids around and not trucking them. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're in an airplane. Yeah, exactly.
Goldcheck made a comment. I see. I can read a bit of chat tonight.
Oh, okay.
She made a comment that I'd like to address, and she's absolutely right. That many chemicals. We're talking tonight about pharmaceuticals and medicine, but it's all kinds of chemicals that we need for industry. And she also mentioned the rare minerals. We outsourced it to them during the Obama, and who else was involved? Bush was, Clinton. Clinton started it around his time. They started outsourcing all of these vital things to China. to save a buck. Well, we all bought a cheap television. Groovy. We got a cheap TV, but that's all we're going to get. If those boats are stopped, and that dock workers strike that's going on in California is not what we're being told.
Yeah, that's just like next month we got UPS is going to be striking too.
Yeah, and they're not what we're being told. This is part of the agenda.
Yep. THS says send him to Martha's Vineyard. I agree. I'll give you the address where to send them. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You want to come up, Sal?
Yes, Sal, it will affect the economy and it'll affect lives. It will take a lot of lives.
Yes, it will. And also, I was going to bring up too that my nurse friend today that I was talking to, which I did not know, was telling me that there's some new strain of the thing going around the.
Yeah, I've got the name of it. I've got the name of it, and I'm going to share an antiviral on that one.
Okay, and yeah, please send it to me because it would be good to have that for reference. And I can put it down in the in the. Hello, Sal. This is Salivate Metal, our special other guest. Dale Val is a special guest.
And it's a special envoy. How you doing?
We are a special envoy to the king.
There you go.
Good to put a face with a name for Dale Val. Good to see you. How you doing?
You put your camera on, Sal. I know you're a handsome bugger. I want to see you.
Oh, you don't want to see that. Good to see you guys, though. Yeah. You know, that's just it. As far as
you broke up, Sal.
Oops. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. It must be my connection or something. I've had trouble earlier too.
But, I've had all kinds of trouble with my internet, this week, and it's just like it comes in and goes. It comes in and goes. So.
Yeah. But anyways, through the southern border, all this fentanyl coming through.
Yeah.
You know, the TB stuff is bad enough, but you have fentanyl, but also sex slavery.
Oh.
Sex slavery is a big deal, and it's not being talked about. There's a movie that just came out that everybody should see called The Sound of Freedom. I've not seen it yet, but that highlights what's going on there. And they don't want you to know.
They're trying to hide it, though. They're doing their damnedest to hide it, and they're discrediting it, and they're calling it, they're a bunch of QAnon quacks. Well, if somebody believed in QAnon or not, I'm not going to say one way or another, nor am I going to disavow them. But we can't be told by mainstream media what movies we can go and see. That's where you just cross the line in a big way. Do you agree?
Yep, that's right. Yep, exactly. Yep, it's bad news, but anyways, and that's the thing. That's the thing about this. And we're supposed to be anti-slavery in this country, right?
Yep.
That's a fundamental right of freedom. And if we're literally encouraging it by having open borders, that's giving money to the drug cartels, and when they're sending these people in these tractor in these small vehicles, and they're dying in there, and they're getting all, if they're packing them in tight and they're opening them up, finding them.
That is so true. That is so true. They it's really sad that these people are trying. All they want to do is they've got all the money in the world. Now they want all the power and control over you.
Right. Well, guys, I don't want to take up too much. I'm going to head off of here. But Dale and Rocky, thank you guys for having me on here a little bit here. Just wanted to say hello, and hope you all and hope you have a wonderful
Pleasure.
evening.
Pleasure,
Pleasure.
Sal.
Thank you. You take care. See
Thank
ya.
you. Thanks for coming, Sal, and you take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That, yeah, because, you know, the different medications, because I think that the medications, because I did do a little research on what it takes to fight this, and I'm thinking that all of a sudden that medication is going to be hard to get. So me and a nurse friend of mine, we're supposed to meet up tomorrow after she gets off of work, and we are going to see about trying to circumvent and get some of that kind of medicine to have it just in stock, you know, because I think it's going to start getting hard to get.
There's lots of preppers online. There's one guy that I follow is Canadian Prepper. He's a little bit dramatic. Like he's got nuclear war every week because now he's making money off YouTube. But he's also, if you look back a year on vital medicines and prepping, he's got some good stuff. And there's a lot of them, though. You could go online, and these are things that, another thing I would like to say. Imagine the world without the internet. You either have books, you may have power from your solar panels. Like I've got backups and redundant systems so that I can have power. But the things that are vital to me are either in hard copy or on thumb drives. And I suggest people do that. Imagine if they take out the grid or the sun takes out the grid. We have a CME. That's almost happened, you know, in 1840, what was it? I believe, Rocky, that they had the Carrington event. If that would have happened in modern time, it would have wiped out everything. It could have took years to get back online. So back yourself up.
Yep, exactly. Because, you know, I was just telling Jamie wanted a solar generator, and I said, well, that's good too, but I have both because you may need both. You know, it's if you stock one, you don't have anything. You stock two, then you got a chance of having enough. So I like multiples of stuff when you start stocking because you never know what you're going to need. So it's good. I have two solar generators. Do what, Dale?
Generators, like if you live in an area where you're surrounded by people, you know, most people know the noise factor, right? If shit did hit the fan and you're out there barbecuing and running a generator, you're not a gray man no more. You're sticking out.
No, exactly.
So the solar generator is a good thing. I don't have the generator, but I've got panels and deep cycles that are always charged. So I can get enough to charge my laptop and some simple devices. I wouldn't be able to run a fridge and stuff, but I wouldn't anyway. If shit hit the fan, fridge is the last thing I care. I can go into cold storage and my freeze-dried foods. Start living like that. I fish, I hunt.
Yeah, because if people don't know it, like stock up on salt. Salt's another thing that you want to stock up.
Yeah, and it's cheap right now, and I prefer, and I would suggest pink Himalayan salt. You can brine your meat, and it's also way healthier for you. Don't eat processed salt with iodized salt. It's not good. It's better than nothing, but it's not good. You take your there's an American brand I trust for your sea salt. I can't remember their name. Memory's getting. I need more fish oil, I guess. I can't remember their name. But buy pink salt or a good quality sea salt. Those are better. And then when you say salt, I'm talking get yourself 10 pounds and use it. Use it every day, like you always do, and keep it in a storage container with an oxygen absorber and an airtight. Salt never goes bad. So just, if you don't use it, good. If you don't have it, bad. Yeah, that's the way I see it.
I stocked up quite a few years ago, and I haven't. What I did is I took my salt and put it in airtight bags, sucked them down all the air and stuff out of it, so moisture can't get into it, and it'll keep a long time. Yeah, salt and honey.
It's like honey. They found honey in the pyramid, for God's sake. And one of the archaeologists ate some, and everybody was freaking out. What are you doing? He goes, it's honey. And he was fine. He was fine. He ate ancient honey. They found
honey will keep.
They found green in a clay jar.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was green in a clay jar, and they took some to a British museum, and somebody from the university in London, can we have a handful? They give me a handful. They went and they sprouted it. It sprouted. So seeds store well, obviously. And if the Egyptians used the clay jar and sealed it with wax, I think that's a really good idea if you can. Or we've got backpackers too, right?
Yep. But if you look at Gold Chick's comment down there, she got some good information.
I've read her comment. She's a smart girl.
Yep. She's on it.
Come on up here, Gold Chick.
You want to come up, Gold Chick? You
world.
want to chat? You don't have to show your face.
Don't be shy. Life's getting pretty dangerous to be shy. We're going to have to all kind of work together and do smart things to help one another. I've got like-minded people, not a lot of them, but I've got some around me, and but we've all talked, and we don't announce but we've talked like you have with some of your neighbors.
Yep.
And if something happens, like I own a tractor, I own some land, I've got mechanics that are in our group. We've got medical people in our group. And if something happens, that's your lifeline, each other and the good Lord.
And mechanic stuff, I've been stocking up on oil. I got a bunch of filters, all kinds of filters and oil filters and just different gas filters and stuff like that. I've been stocking up for, and cleaning materials like for carb cleaners and brake clean and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been stocking up all that to keep it.
You'll be a sought after man if it does happen, and you'll have to pick and choose your customers at possibly at gunpoint. But Rocky, will you fix my truck? Well, you tell them, well, I trade in silver or gold. You make your own. You call your own shots.
Exactly.
But you're the kind of man, I know you'll fix a guy's truck for an ounce of silver, and that's the way we're going to have to go.
Ghost put out a good comment. Ghost is a mechanic also. Me and him we think the same way. So it's
okay.
He's a mechanic, and I think he's retired now. But mechanics don't ever retire. Isn't that right, Ghost? You just keep going.
Because you're a valuable asset to society. It's like my herbal medicine. People might not appreciate it till they've got a flu, or they got bit by a snake, or they got a deep cut, and there's no one around to stitch them up. That's where I keep sutures. I've got medical equipment. Like I can't fix somebody's heart, but I can put you back together if you got shot, or you got a bad cut, or you got a fever, or you got poisoned. I have my ways. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that is so important. And I started about 6 years ago stocking up on medical supplies, trying to get the very, and how much stuff I needed and stuff like that. And it seemed like medical supplies like a never-ending type of thing that you never can have enough. Medicines and supplies and stuff like that.
They're stored right. You got to store them right, Rocky. Yeah, and you can have. I want to say something. Here's what people don't always consider. Let's say you live in a community. If things do go bad, remember our doctors are not working for the government no more. It's not like they're going to fade away.
Right.
You should get to know them. There's things that could be done in an emergency where if a team worked together, you literally could do an operation in a cabin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it ever came to that, so we should work with our doctors. Hey, if the doctor needs 50 ounces of silver to put me back together, then so be it. That's the way I look at things. That's looking at it from, don't discount anyone, because when we're vulnerable, we're all very equal, but we're also very dangerous. So it's a balancing act. People become vulnerable, dangerous, scared, and all of those unhealthy emotions. So
Yeah.
I hope there's a lot of smart ones that keep their shit together and try to form groups and realize each other's values and say, if that happens, I need him. And you know who to call.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's like I have two nurse friends that are, one's retired and the other one's still working, and both of them are good to talk to and know.
Good.
And I could get
Valuable assets, Rocky.
exactly.
And friends. We can't look at friends. Those would be real relationships. I don't want none of this to happen. But if you think that you have good relationships now, if you survived in 2 years of that with the people around you and you still love them, that'd be a love like you may never have experienced in our lives. When times are the worst,
Yep.
Sometimes the worst can bring out the best in humans.
Yep. Exactly. And that's what worries me about, because my nurse friend, we're meeting tomorrow, and we're going to meet and see about trying to get the firewood would be good. Yes. Meeting about getting the what medicines would be good for that. I looked on the internet what treatment, but I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm not a doctor.
I'll help with that part. I'll start. I've got some stuff posted. I've got a lot of videos that I didn't post, but
Right.
I'm just going to let it rip now. I'm going to put up what I know, and I'm going to put up a disclaimer with everything, and I'm going to put it up, and I'm going to put it out there so people can see it and use it if they need it. And like I said, save it. If you find it valuable, just save it, put it on a thumb drive. Or, I've got a friend that comes and learns from me. She brings her notepad with her. She doesn't leave. She knows what she wants to know. And we work together. We go, if I don't know, we'll go online or we'll go into my books and we'll find all the potentials. And then we'll talk about dosing. And, remember I said the last time we were together, you don't throw 15 things into the mix, try things.
Right.
And let the human body do what it does. If you give the body some fasting and some really healthy food, like some superfood and some time to rest, it usually takes care of everything.
That is true.
Was it hypocrisy? Food is thy medicine. Let thy medicine be thy food thy medicine.
Exactly.
There was no truer words ever spoken.
Exactly. I was going to tell the Ballad of Janine, J9. We were talking about the government has let in 2,500 kids, and I'm going to link. At the end of my video, I will put it down in the chat, the links to everything I'm talking about, so you can check it. But the government has let in 2,500 kids that have TB, and they have put them in 44 different states. And so they're bringing these people in, these kids. Now, that's not even including the parents or what people that were around them. They're letting these people in. That's just what they're telling us. So you could probably double that or triple it, what's really getting here. And so we're discussing about getting medication for TB, because the nurse friend that I was talking to today, we were chatting about the No, it was not by mistake, Ghost. It was actually as well planned, and so it's
Agenda.
yeah, it's their agenda, and depopulation is what it's all about. So, and
We're on the hunt list. We got to start thinking like that.
yep,
This
we are.
is- This is, we're on a list, and we're not on their list. We're on a different list. And
Right,
people that
right.
refuse to believe that could potentially be the first out.
Exactly. And I don't want to see anybody get something like this. Sterling, I don't know if you he just come in too. Sterling, I don't know if you heard me talking about that. Okay. Sterling says wash your hands with ivermectin. That will protect you. And I do that regular. And so
He's right.
yeah, exactly. J9. It is. Yeah, I just found out about it, and they're already here. So you know, and that stuff. I was talking to my nurse friend, and she was saying that they have a special ward in their hospital that she works in for these people, so it doesn't spread. And so, and that's she said, yeah, gasoline works. Yeah, there you go. So just don't be smoking or lighting matches, right? But yeah, that is so bad for them to do that and not say anything and do it. They are deliberately trying to destroy what we the people are. Yes. Yep,
Freedom is a threat. Our
exactly.
freedom is a threat to them.
Yes, it is, and that they can't have that. Yes,
There's too many of us, and they know that.
Yeah.
And if everyone wakes up and steps up, they're up shit creek without a paddle. And they've known that all along, and they played their decisive little games for decades and decades.
Exactly.
And I woke up a long time ago for several reasons, and it pains me to know what I know. At one point, I didn't want to know anymore. I went so deep in the rabbit hole, and then I did my research and found out it was true, and I was like, oh, fuck. We got grandkids, man. Goldchick said something I want to again. He's right on Tamiflu in case of the bird flu. And the potassium, she said, it's iodide. If there was a nuke, if you see the mushroom cloud, goodbye. I love you. Goodbye. If you were in range to see it or hear it, you're not going to last too long. But you can last if you isolate your home and you take potassium iodide, EIEE, and you got to know how to dose it. Don't willy-nilly dose it. Take the recommended dosage of it.
Exactly.
And it's to protect your thyroid. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good info.
I
bought it years ago.
That's really good. Does anybody else have anything or questions that they want to ask? See, back in the 60s, they had sanitariums for TB patients in isolating. That's true, Sterling. Yep. They sure did. And now they're just bringing them into the country and just let them loose. And the article that I'll put in links in was 44 states. So they've dropped 2,500 kids off.
Rocky, can you put on your screen so people can see that article from 2001 that was in a newspaper? And it was on the first page, and nobody really talked about it. And they weren't the what's that rag mag that puts out all kinds of crazy stories about the Wolfman and and this person's screwing around with that person. What's the name of that rag mag that you see at the grocery store?
I was just, it's not the Sun, is it?
But it wasn't a paper like that. It was the Independent. So it was rather mainstream. And you and I read that article, and it's shocking that no one got talking about it. That was in 2001.
Right. It's really sad.
describe it to them, what it said, Rocky, just briefly.
Right. And I'm looking here. I was looking at, I was going to put a link up to, for amoxicillin and, that you can get. And I'll put a link up right now because I'll look it up. Hang on, everybody, and we'll look at it. And
That's interesting, gold check. Wow. I didn't know that one. It was a sweetener. And it can kill the MRSA. Good info. We need her on the team, Rock.
just a second. I'm looking up this link here, so hang on just a second. And it's on Chewy.com, and it's $21. Come on. Oh my God. You want something and it gives you something else.
You can get them on Amazon too. That's where I got mine. You just got to do some calculations on the milligram to body weight,
Right.
duration, depending on the infection, 7 to 14 days.
Okay, here we go. So here it is. This here's a link to get, if you want amoxicillin for your, this is how I get stocked up. And if you follow that link, you can, it's, let me look at it. It's $21.99 for, it's 30 count, not a 500 count. Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay. I thought you were doing a super deal there earlier. But still.
At least you can get it. Because what they
get it.
Yeah.
Or if you've got somebody like a nurse that you're a friend with, or somebody in the medical community, I would urge people to have a few strips put away.
Yep.
Now, if you're a diabetic, like I am, if insulin's gone, I'm not going to lose too many tears because I only use it periodically when I eat carbs. You're going to need to get off carbs. And it'll be easier than you think because there won't be no more crackers and bread and grocery stores to get it. Just start eating meat and low carbohydrate vegetables and stay away from sweet fruit. You can have a few blackberries, blueberries, maybe strawberry, but make the principal parts of your diet back to meat and eggs. Keep it simple, carnivore. If you're diabetic, you've only got two choices. You're either carnivore or you're insulin dependent, or you're depending on metformin or another prescription drug. And if you can't get that prescription drug, you're not going to die right away, but you're going to die a painful death pretty quick.
Right, exactly.
I'm just going to, you keep going for a minute, Rock?
Okay, you go right ahead. I'm just sitting here. I put that link up again so you'll have it if anybody wants a link to getting you some. It's that's an antibiotic, amoxicillin, and that way, what kind of fish? Well, whatever you want, you can feed it to whatever. You can feed it to goldfish or swordfish or 45 fish or colt fish. You can feed it to a lot kind of different nickel, so it'll be good. Yeah, I get a lot of stuff from Chewy. Yep. She was talking about, I think she's talking about the AAA let her down today because of her battery went out or something like that. And I was going to give her some tips if she, to make sure it is her battery, that they check her alternator and make sure it's putting out 14.3 volts. Where is my dog? Mark, my dog is, he's gone. I miss him a lot. Vinny was a great dog.
I'm sorry, Rocky.
Oh, he was a pug. I got it. He's on my picture in my lap on my avatar.
I
And,
saw him. Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
losing a kid. I lost my old Tomcat, and I know how you feel. I cried, broke down and cried on the table when I had to put him down. And it's not easy. It's like a child.
Yeah,
It's like losing one of your own.
yeah. Vinny was quite. He was 12 years old for a pug. That's pretty good.
Nickel lost his dog. I assume Chico. Nickel, my dad had a dog named Chico too. That's cool. He actually had two of them. I said, Dad, you're not real original with the names. It's the same breed. It was a Chihuahua, and he had Chico 1 and Chico 2. I said, next time, pick a new name. My dad was a character. I miss him too.
That's for sure. That is for sure. A chinchilla? You have a chinchilla there, Nickel?
It was a Chihuahua that Nickel had. I figured that. I saw that in my in my mind's eye. It was a Chihuahua, just like my dad. I watched some of Nickel's videos and stuff, and I saw his collections and that. He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, Barbara, yeah, have them check your alternator, because if they put a meter on that after it starts and they put a new battery, make sure that they stick a meter on that battery, and it should be reading 14 to 14.3 on the battery as far as volts. If it's only reading 12 volts, your alternator is not working. So make sure that they check for that, Barbie.
It could be a dirty ground, eh, Rocky?
Yeah, it could be that too. Yeah.
Could be that simple. A lot of times it is a corroded ground.
Yep. Could be. Sure could be.
People people never touch their ground wires. Every 4 or 5 years, a ground wire should be taken off, quick ground, check the connector, and bolted back up, and some rust preventative put around it. Same with your battery cables. That's part of the general maintenance that a lot of people don't do.
Yep. You see what Gold Chick put out there? She is putting out some more information. You can buy at CVS. Amoxicillin is penicillin, correct? Dioxicillin, 100 milligrams. You can buy over-the-counter, Gold Chick, dioxicillin.
I didn't know that. That may be in the U.S. I'm in Canada, and I don't think they do that here. But if they do
it here either. That's why I'm buying amoxicillin through a dog place, because you can't get amoxicillin or penicillin without a prescription.
Gold Chick, what side of the border is she? If you don't mind saying, is she Canadian or is she American?
Who's that?
Gold Chick.
Gold Chick is she's down here in America. She's in the U.S. of A. I'm not sure what state she's in. She's a smart girl though.
If you could, if you could travel to her state and it isn't too far, she's given a viable alternative here.
Oh, some people are saying put in Florida. Gold Chick, are you in Florida?
I don't want to dox nobody. You don't want to say don't, but Florida's a big state.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
When I moved where I moved for a long time, I thought I worked my career. I did good in life. I had no issues. I managed 200 people, a lot of friends, not too many enemies. So I must have done some things right.
Right.
And I thought, I'm going to just kind of be gray man and just retire. But when you start saying I'm on a list and my grandkids and my friends are up for Depop, all bets come off the table. That's it.
Yep, exactly. Tiger
Can
Bomb.
you imagine some of those pencil neck globalists that you see on TV? They're not real men. They're spineless, sociopathic, little puke cowards.
There was an article, and I'll even post a link to it, about a newspaper article that was 12 years ago.
Yeah, that's
And,
wild. That's
And
wild.
did I send that to you, Dale?
I
That
saw
article?
it, and yes, I did. I read it earlier in the week, and then you sent it, and I reread it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's wild,
yeah.
and people should read that.
Populations for real. Yes, Nickel Stacken's got it, and
Okay.
I'll put the link in about them talking about depopulating through vaccinations, is what the article said. So I guess I shouldn't say that, but anyway, they're talking about it in the article, and I'll link it into our actual information on there underneath this video, like I always do. So I'll have a lot of links out there. So I was going to
Nickel said that Harris. I call her heels up Harris.
me and Mark call her Camel Toe Harris.
Camel toe, that's another goodie. She made verbal diarrhea on the mic about depopulation. It's good for the environment. We'll start with her.
There you go.
Compost with her. Compost some camel toes.
Yep, that's for sure. We have a newbie in here. We got America. Where'd you go? Magic Jack America. Magic America. Hey, I got it out, I think. So yeah, that is so true. Well, you know what? We've been on here for a little over an hour, and I think we'll cut it down. I hate going past an hour because nobody wants to watch an hour video, and so I will put them links out for everybody. And Dale, I want to thank you for coming and helping out. And if you'll send me that information so I can post it,
I will.
And we need some substitutes for different kinds of meds, and that would be good to put it on here. So
the new flu that we've identified that allegedly could appear this year, I put a name to it, and I'm going to share that in a sneaky kind of way.
Okay.
But there are preventatives from the forest or from a pharmacia that can put it to rest if you did get it and you couldn't do anything else, or you didn't want to go for medical treatment. And the symptoms of it are fairly unique, so you wouldn't have to be a genius to diagnose that you had it.
Right.
So
exactly.
next time we'll talk about that a bit more.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say good night to everybody. Thank you for coming. Stephanie and Mark and Gold Chick and Barbara and Jamie. I'll get it out there. Nickel Stacking, Gold Maple, Eagle Steve, JM. Thank y'all for coming, and I really appreciate it. And I'm going to call it quits tonight. We'll have a finish up next week on what I find out for medicines through my nurse, and then we'll get Dale Val back up here, and we'll be talking about some other stuff that we need protection on. And I have some other interesting stuff for next week, but I didn't have time this week to do a whole lot. So you're more than welcome, Barbara. And you got my email, Barbara. If you need any more help with your car, you can send me an email. I'll be glad to help you on that. And so I will say good night, farewell, and y'all take care, and good night.
God bless y'all. Stay safe.